Good evening, everybody. I'm Alicia, and I am doing my live blog tonight that I haven't done in a few days. I guess that's because, for one, I didn't have a lot to report, and for two, well, wasn't feeling too positive, so I didn't want to put negative stuff on here. But today's a little better. I got my hair done. See? It's got blonde streaks in it. And then back here, a little braid and like a twist around my head. I'm sitting here by the fire. It's a air blower, really, in a makeshift fireplace. So it looks like I'm sitting by a fireplace, but it's not as much of a fireplace as a real fireplace. That's okay. My dad came this evening and hung out with me, so that was really nice. We talked, and he brought his friend's 2 dogs. His friend Levon passed away in November. Well, she was kind of our friend, both of our friends. But she passed away, and he brought Odin and Peanut, the 2 dogs. One is a healer mix. I think she said he was like, that he had other things in him than he really sorry. But he's my dad, Deja's dog, puppy. He's 11 years old and she's 17. So, son. And then Peanut is a Jack Russell Terrier, and she was Levon's also. And of course, my dad has spoiled them rotten, so they're both big dogs now. And when I say big dogs, I mean they're just fat. Well, Odin weighs 70 pounds. Peanut's just fat. Anyway, my dad has 6 dogs. Deja is the oldest. She's a healer mixed with dingo, which dingoes were Australian dogs that were wild at one point. And then he has Deja's other 2 children, Butch and Layla. Now, they're part Chow, but are they? Yeah, they're older than Odin because for a while, after she had Butch and Layla, and another litter that she had with Butch, which is kind of awkward, but I guess if you're a dog, it's not awkward. She went back to live with Levon, our friend, and that's when she gave birth to Odin. Anyway, so he has Butch and Layla, and then Willie, who is not from the same litter at all, or from the same family. He is husky. He's a husky mix. So he's like a small husky. He's not a big husky or anything. His problem is he likes to nip at people, which isn't very nice. But that's his one bad habit. And he's still considered a puppy. He's like a year old and some change. Anyway, then, as if my dad doesn't have enough animals, he has 3 cats. One cat belongs to his roommate Max. One cat technically is mine, and the other one is the family cat. But she's kind of an alley cat. Her name is Miss Scotty. Yes, my dad has a habit of naming animals either after boxers or singers. And he named this cat Miss Scotty. She's a white cat with gray spots. She lives in the bathroom, the main bathroom. So it's kind of weird when people come over and she's inside, because she'll rub up on people, and she's very friendly for an alley cat. She likes to rub up on people and meow, and on occasion, if I was in there on the toilet, she'd jump up on my lap. Excuse me. So then there's Merle. Well, Merle is a black cat, and he likes me. He likes most people, but he doesn't like the other animals very well. Well, I guess that's because Max, my dad's roommate, spoils him rotten. So he's kind of, I don't know, not that friendly. And last but not least, Finola. Finola is the cat that I got with Eric, my late fiance. Well, Finola is Finola is a gray cat. She's got long gray fur, and she's, I would say, about 8 to 9 pounds. Maybe heavier now that they spoil the heck out of her. She's got dark gray fur, and when I first got her and they put her in my arms, she just reminded me of a cuddly teddy bear kitty, even though she wasn't quite sure what to think of us. When I held her for the first time, I thought to myself, this is her, this is it. We had been looking at cats for a couple of days before that, and there was one cat in particular, yes, I ended up taking her home, that kept coming and laying next to me. Her name was Lori, and they kept telling me, she doesn't normally do that. She doesn't like to just come and lay next to somebody. So I ended up taking her home because I felt like, well, this cat chose me. Anyway, when I lived in Ohio, I had Finola and Lori. Lori was the more friendly of the two, even though she had been from a hoarding house. And Finola, they found her when she was 4 months old with fleas and ticks and lice all over her fur. Well, that happens with long-haired cats, I suppose, but finding her just by herself in the alley, or not alley, but county, is probably not normal either. They took her in, got rid of the fleas and ticks and stuff, and then she went out for adoption. Now, I hadn't met her when I was combing around the room looking at cats. She wasn't one that popped out and said, "Hi, I'm Finola, nice to meet you." Actually, they had named her Nadine. I renamed her because Eric and I thought, oh, that's a weird name. Anyway, I renamed her Finola after a character from a book called, well, what is that book called? Anyways, she, after Eric died in February, I still had my cats. They were my company, my last link to him, especially Finola. In May, when I was to come back to Albuquerque, I flew them under the plane. I flew out here first, back to Albuquerque. and some friends of mine put them under the plane, and they came back. They came out second in a box, or in a carrier, actually. Poor things. Stuck under a plane for several hours together. It's terrified. Finola was the more terrified of the two, I think, but they were both terrified. I was living in a place where I didn't know if I could keep Finola at the time, or to keep both of them. So a friend of mine decided to keep them for me. Well, Lori got attached to my friend, and my friend began to call her Kimba, and she ended up keeping her. She still lives there, but I took Finola with me. Was staying in a hotel room at the time, and they allowed me to have her. So I took her with me, and she would sleep on the bed with me. Finola was always the cat who I would find, even though when I first got her, she was kind of all over the place and wouldn't let me catch her. But I would find her laying between my knees when I would wake up in the morning, or up by my neck where I didn't want to move because her furriness and cuddliness was just one too cute and too nice and warm. When I had my accident, my dad took Finola and started naming her Rocky. She had to get along with the dogs. It was just inevitable as she was to come out and play out of my room. And now she loves the dogs. Her and Odin have a thing going where they follow each other around. Levon used to call them boyfriend and girlfriend, and she thought it was the weirdest thing that a big old dog would like this tiny little cat. Anyway, that's my Finola story. Today would have been Eric's birthday. He would have been 41 today. I remember for his last birthday, 11 days before he was to go to heaven, we went to Biaggi's. It was an Italian restaurant, and his family and I went. We went together. We all went together. And one day we celebrated his birthday with just the two of us. I don't remember where we went. I don't remember where we went. But then on Valentine's Day we went somewhere on a special date. I can't remember where that was either. But anyway, the other interesting thing is I talked to my dad about going to convention, the National Convention for the National Federation of the Blind. It's going to be in Las Vegas this year. I'm planning on going there in July. I need to find a roommate. I think I have one, but I gotta make sure. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. Like a lot of people I haven't met before. And the interesting thing about convention is Eric and I met at convention back in 2009 in Detroit. He and his friends had ordered pizza when I had to go to the hospital for an infection in my foot. Well, anyway, my battery's getting low. So I think I'm going to finish up for tonight. I hope everyone has a good evening. And I hope everyone can hear me better now. God bless, and talk to you all later.